Well, we are very honored to have a very special guest live on the hotline.
Absolutely.
Right now, the real Rick Ross. And we're going to ask him exactly who the real Rick Ross is if you don't know. This is an epic interview, Shay Star.
Epic is not even the word. I think we're undercutting it by calling it epic.
A lot of people tuning in right now to hear this interview. Freeway Rick Ross, where are you calling from this morning, man? Good morning.
Los Angeles.
Okay, I got you. Well, listen, man, good morning. I'm Bill Baker, Shay Star, Hip Hop Coffee Shop.
What's up?
Here at OC 104.
What's up, Bill?
Yeah, and Shay Star.
Man, listen, this guy right here, I'm just going to say his name definitely precedes him because I've been following him on Twitter now for about maybe 2.5 years. And, you know, I was supposed to go out to L.A. a couple of months ago, but we didn't make it out there yet. But I'm like, you know what? Everything happens in divine time. And look, now we got him on the Hip Hop Coffee Shop.
Absolutely. So glad to have you, man.
Man, all right, look, we getting ready to just... No, thank you. It's an honor to have you, man. Like, you know, people don't even know how much of an impact that you've had in the industry that you have nothing to do with. And I'm talking about the entertainment industry.
Well, see, here's the thing. Like, you know, we're interviewing Freeway Rick Ross. And
the real Rick Ross, by the way.
Yeah, and, you know, right away, people are going to be listening to this interview. You know, they got Rick Ross on the phone, but they're talking about, all right.
But no, we're not talking about that guy. We're not talking about the guy who infiltrates the guy that's on the phone right now.
Well, can you give people a little bit of background for people who don't know, like, what the deal is, who exactly you are, and who exactly, you know, the rapper is, etc. Can you kind of give, like, your take on the whole thing and how I'm sure people say to you or make comments?
Yeah, well, you know, I grew up in Los Angeles in the early 80s.
Right.
And, man, I got caught up in the dope game like so many young black Americans in you know, looking for the American dream. Went on to build one of the biggest drug empires in Los Angeles. Eventually got arrested. Went to prison, got a life sentence. While the time I was doing that time, I found out that this guy had adopted my name as if it was his own.
Right.
And, you know, that's kind of like how it got started, man. And, you know, after I contacted him, you know, to talk to him about it. And, you know, we never could come to any type of terms or anything like that there. And I know that the guy admires me. You know, you have to really admire somebody to name yourself after him.
Right.
So I absolutely know that he admires me. But I don't know what it is that... I guess it's kind of like a love-hate, you know. If people find out, I guess he thinks that if people find out that I'm real, then it would tear down his credibility.
Are you, now, be honest, are you a Rick Ross fan? Like, you like his music?
I've heard some of his songs are catchy, you know.
Come on, you know you've heard him. Come on, look, you know you've heard him. Stop it. Stop it.
Oh, no, absolutely. I've heard his songs, and I mean, I've even come in the clubs, you know, when they start off, you know, the song that he kind of takes a shot at me, you know, I think I'm big meat. Larry Hoover.
Right.
You know, that's kind of like a shot at me, you know. A couple rappers put me up on it that he was taking a shot at me, you know, basically telling me that there was other guys whose name he could have used beside myself. Mm.
Well, you know, my thing on it is, you know, and you know, I'm not gonna say that I'm a huge Rick Ross fan, but like you said, he do have a couple of songs that, you know, you can't deny they are some hits. But when, you know, me, I'm a media person, so I definitely have to go straight to the source. And, you know, when you got released from prison, you know, and I started, you know, seeing, you know, your name, and, you know, you've done some, you know, some work and some hosting for some of the guys that I know over in LA. So I'm like, you know what, let me kind of look into this a little bit. And then, like you said, I started to understand more so of what the whole controversy was, you know, behind Rick Ross and the name and everything. And, you know, it's kind of crazy because, you know, a lot of people were like, oh, well, you know, he was a correctional officer, and, you know, he's this and he's that, and he's portraying himself.
You chuckled the Officer Ross.
You know what I'm saying? So you got this guy who, you know, who was employed at a place where you spend a lot of your time at, portraying to be who you are. So, I mean, again, I get the whole, I guess it is like a love-hate type of thing. And like I said, he would have to admire you to some degree to actually name himself and create an entire rap career. Not just the album, not just a song, but his entire career is based off of what you were doing in real life. You know what I'm saying?
But you know what really baffles me about all that is that he's never given me a shout out on any of his records. He's almost tried to ignore that I even exist. He's supposed to be a connoisseur of drug lords and whatnot, but he to say that he never heard of me.
And there was a lawsuit actually that what did you put the lawsuit out against him, or what happened with the whole copyright infringement lawsuit?
Yeah, I was suing for copyright. I said that they had infringed on not only my name but on my whole persona. They was passing him off as if he was me, and the judges wasn't going to have it. He had Universal, Warner Brothers, and I think Sony behind him.
Of course, they're making that money. Why change anything now? Of course, they don't want to change nothing. Well, let me ask you this. Yeah, so at this point,
so they beat me in court. They didn't really beat me in court. I feel like they robbed me in court for my right. If I started taking on some of these other people's names and started making stuff and change it a little bit, as they said, and make it as if it's my own, they would come down on me like a ton of bricks. But I'm out here by myself, and with my background, they just won't show me no love.
Well, let me ask you this, because it's been 5 years since your release, and with all that, to be honestly, are you over it, or are you still, you still feel some kind of way? You still trying to get, like, really, this clown's playing me? Are you really, you still feel that way, or are you just like, whatever, I'm over it? I'm free. I'm happy.
I got so much stuff going on right now. I got a book that's #2 on Amazon.
Which is why we really have you on the phone today. But, we got to dibble into the controversy a little bit.
Yeah, we'll get to the book. Which is how we really, why and how we really got you on the phone. But, we had to get a little background.
Yeah. So, I never really got really personal with the situation with him. I don't dislike him or nothing like that there. I don't want to see anything happen to him. I'm an advocate of peace.
Right, okay.
Not war and violence. And that's the way I ran my drug empire. And when I went to court, I was glad I did. There was lots of people that had owed me money, and I was able to walk away and say, you know what, you're bad.
Right.
And, and that's pretty much the way that I'm doing this. He took something that was valuable to me and dear, that I spent a lifetime to build, because when I went into the drug business, and even before I sold drugs, even in tennis, one of the things that I was trying to build was a name for myself. Because, once you build a name for yourself, you can start making money off of it. And, I was really disappointed, that he was able to capitalize off of it, and I'm not. And even still today, they allow him to go into colleges and stuff that I can't go into because of my background.
And I kind of want to move away from this after this last question, but have you heard about the whole controversy that he's actually going through right now with this, trick and stopped him from coming into Detroit, and this whole no-fly zone situation, which has made national headline news? So, again, how does this affect someone like yourself? Is there ever any type of...
Yeah, is it always going to follow you around? Is it always brought back to you?
Well, they call me, I've been getting a lot of calls from the media asking me for comments and why do I think that I can go to any project in the country and he can't. And, it's because I'm grounded, I'm rooted. I know what the people out here are going through, and I'm going through the same thing that they're going through. And I never snot my nose at anybody, even when as my lawyer said, I was one of the richest men in the world.
If you gross $9 million a year,
I walked around with the people You know, I wasn't saying that my chain is bigger than yours, and I have better cars than you do, and my house is bigger, and
it just was.
I got money, I'll take your girl.
You weren't saying it. It just was.
Yeah, absolutely. Which is how you got your name too. You know, owning several properties.
No, but my name didn't come. My name didn't come like that. My name came from helping the people.
Right.
My name. I get the love I get because the OGs told the little homies through the time. And it just trickled down that the homie took care of everybody. You know,
that is one thing that I can say that has attached itself to you.
A lot of these guys believe now that if you take care of the hood, it's like you being extorted. I didn't look at it like that. I look at it like they're my homies, and it's my obligation to make sure that they eat just like I'm eating.
Right.
Absolutely. I mean, you have been referenced on several occasions. You know, Jay-Z referenced you, you know, in Blue Magic from the American Gangster soundtrack. You know, and you've just really been on the tip of a lot of people's tongues without even realizing it. You know, and I kind of take it back because everybody expected you to do this long life sentence. But, you know, going back to what you just said, you always were, you know, a provider of peace, and you always were such a outgiving person, which is one reason why you got released early, because you were a model prisoner.
Let me tell you something, Freeway. You're a star, okay? But somebody wants to be you.
Yes.
Who is being you. Jay-Z is rapping about you. Can't get away from these hip-hop guys. Jay-Z rapping about you. Rick Ross is trying. Everybody, like, it's all you, man. It's all you, buddy. You're Freeway Rick Ross. You should be walking around. You're the boss. Shoot.
Okay.
So tell me the book you're writing. You got a tell-all book, and I'm sure it's in there. But how? Because you said earlier that you got released from this life sentence. How'd you get a life sentence and then get released?
Well, I got a life sentence. They should have did it by how much drugs I sold, but they couldn't prove how much drugs I had sold because the guys who they had testified on me had only been around me for a few months.
Okay.
So they really didn't know much about my operation. I was blessed for that. So the prosecutor went a different route to give me a life sentence. He tried to give me the 3-strike law, and what happened is, I've been taken from state to state and prosecuted for the crimes that I committed in that state. But I had only been to jail one time in my life, and you can't become a career criminal from one continuous criminal spree. It has to be broken up by jail time. And in order for a prior to be a prior, it has to be broken up with jail time and a release date. And that didn't happen in my case. So I discovered that in the law library. And I discovered that myself, even not being able to read until I was 28 years old. So once I discovered it, I brought it to the court's attention, and the appeals court agreed with me.
Wow.
Wow, that's crazy.
Wow.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah, and again, when I said, to KD, and shout out to my son, of course, who's on the phone right now.
Without a doubt.
I just wanted to, let people know that I didn't want to bring you on here to glorify the fact that, you had this huge drug empire and you made all this money, because I'm an advocate, of course, for, keeping kids positive and keeping people safe. But, for you to...
Your story is just amazing.
Your story is amazing, and this is
American history. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about my book. My book is American history. It's not about glorifying drugs. It's a point that happened in America. There's probably been 80 to 100 million people in this country that has been involved with cocaine in some form or some fashion. I think every year they arrest something like 800,000 or 900,000 people every year. Right now we have 600,000 black men in prison for drugs, non-violent offenses. So this is definitely not to glorify drugs. I don't glorify drugs either. I tell anybody that knowing what I know today and now, I could never sell drugs again. But knowing what I knew in 79 and 80 when I got started, it was a whole different world.
It's crazy, but I mean, it's a hell of a story, man. We got to get it out.
I like this guy,
yes.
And he's actually got a tell-all book that he's writing. That's why he's on the phone, of course, to tell his story. Is there any way we can maybe work something out where you send us some books and we can give some away and then talk about it?
Absolutely. We can do that. Give me a call and we'll get the address and and I'll send you a few books, and I'll autograph them as well.
Look, you are the man, because I mean, I really, I really am intrigued when Shay kind of turned me on to you, and I looked you up online and was just going. I mean, you're just you're something else, man. I mean, just you definitely have a story to tell, and I definitely am looking forward to reading this book in its entirety.
And thank you. Cover. Yeah, because
look, I don't read, okay?
Yeah, I was really. And I want to
100. I don't read, but I'll read that.
And I want to say thank you, because I know, just in the past couple of days alone with the whole Rick Ross thing, people have contacted you and you have turned down interviews. So I definitely appreciate you even wanting to take the time to come on here and tell us this exclusive story.
I'm very interested in you. Problem. Okay.
Yeah. So thank you.
Well, you know what?
Much.
A lot of people, one of the things that I'm most proud of that the book is doing right now is that the book has the ghetto is reading. People who haven't read in years and years read this book, and people are gonna be surprised that this book has some jewels in it. Not only is it going to tell the history, but it's also, I laid it out step by step of what I thought I did in the drug business and how I felt that it relates to normal business. And I laid that out in the book.
Yeah, I mean, and like I said, this isn't just some small-time situation. I mean, you've been featured in Esquire magazine, their 80th anniversary edition. You know what I'm saying? And BET did that huge documentary, the American Gangster situation, and you were actually featured on one of the documentaries, the documentary that Kevin Booth did.
The biggest one they ever did.
Yeah.
Mine was the biggest.
They need to do a kind of like a Lifetime movie on you.
The
whole situation. They've had to do one on Aaliyah. Why not, your story? I mean, you're, to me, I'll watch it. I'm ready.
Yeah.
Let's go. I'm interested, man.
It's so much knowledge that can be obtained just from where you started, what you did. I mean, and like you said, on top of that, dude, you played tennis. You know what I mean? For a scholarship in college that you weren't able to get because you couldn't read. So the fact that you're even, giving back in a way that, like you said, you're putting a book out to give it back to the hood for those who couldn't read. You know what I mean? It's just so many jewels, like you said, that come out of this whole situation. And again, I'm just thankful that you're allowing us to be a part of this.
Once they read my book, then I believe that they're going to start chasing knowledge like I started chasing knowledge, because I used to wouldn't read books, but once I found out the importance of reading and why it's important to read, then it changed my whole aspect on life.
I mean, you reading a book freed you. You know what I'm saying? You taking the time to educate yourself, cost you a life sentence. You know what I mean? So it's just so much, power and knowledge. And again, that was the whole basis of this whole entire interview, to see how somebody could take a bad situation and turn it into something so positive.
How can people pick the book up?
They can go to my website, freewayrickrossbooks.com, or they can go to Amazon or Kindle or all those other sites that's on the internet. It's everywhere. Also, everybody go to Amazon and leave a comment. And don't forget, I spoke at at Brown University as well as St. John University. So you can really turn your life around, and hopefully my book is something that'll give people the inspiration and the wisdom to want to turn their life around and walk away from the streets and basically just get your life together.
I'm ready to get it right now, so I'll be checking the mail.
Yes, nice son. I definitely will be contacting you to get those.
What's up, nice son?
All right, definitely. Hey, what's up, Bill? What's going on?
Yeah, welcome back, man.
Yeah, I'd like to give a special shout out to the rapper if I can.
Oh, okay.
Officer Ricky. You eat Twinkies.
Oh, gosh. Here we go.
Hey, look, I love it. Go for it. Shots fired.
Here we go. Freeway Rick Ross, we appreciate it, man. And look, anytime.
I appreciate y'all. Thanks for having me on the air.
I hope this is definitely not the last time we bring you on.
All right.
Hey, give everybody the Twitter real quick, because it's definitely out there.
Oh, yeah, you can get me on Twitter, Freeway Ricky, Instagram, Freeway Ricky, and Facebook, Freeway Ricky. Hit my like page. You like me, I like you back.
I'm sending you a request right now. Have a good one, my man. We appreciate it, guys.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Bye-bye.